Welcome to Networking RX, a podcast devoted to helping business professionals like you enhance your networking skills in order to become more proficient giving and receiving quality business referrals and improving the overall quality of your life and the lives of those around you. The Networking RX podcast is a production of AmSpirit Business Connections, an organization whose mission is to empower business success through networking.
This is Frank Agin, founder and president of AmSpirit Business Connection, and I'm your host of the Networking RX podcast. Welcome back for another episode. Back in 1957, a group of monks from a monastery had to relocate a clay Buddha from their temple to a new location. This clay Buddha stood 10 feet tall and 6 feet in circumference and had, as you would imagine, an expansive belly. The monastery was to relocate the Buddha to make room for the development of a highway that was going through Bangkok. When the crane began to lift the giant idol, the weight of it was so tremendous that the idol began to crack. What's more, at that point, the rain began to fall, and so the head monk, who was concerned about damage to this sacred Buddha, decided to lower the statue back to the ground and cover it with large canvas tarps to protect it from the rain. And they were just going to let the rain go through, let it dry out, and then figure out their next steps. At any rate, later that evening, the head monk went to check on the Buddha. He was trying to see if it was drying out. He shined the flashlight under the tarp to see if the Buddha was actually staying dry, if the tarp was doing what it was supposed to do. But as the light reached the Buddha, it hit a crack, one of the cracks that had been created when they were trying to lift it, and he noticed a little gleam shining back. And the monk thought it was strange. He flashed the flashlight again and was getting the same little glimmer. As he took a closer look at this gleam of light, he wondered if there might be something underneath the clay. And so he went and he got himself a chisel and a hammer and began to chip away at the clay. As he knocked off the shards of clay, the little glimmer of light that was shining back at him grew brighter and brighter and bigger. And after many hours of labor, he got other monks up and they started working on this and started going away at this clay Buddha. They discovered that beneath the clay was actually a solid gold Buddha. Now, what historians believe is that several hundred years prior to this, before the head monk's discovery, the Burmese army was about to invade Thailand, which at that point was called Siam, and the Siamese monks, realizing that their country would soon be attacked, covered their precious gold Buddha with an outer covering of clay in order to keep their treasure hidden from being looted by the Burmese army. Unfortunately, it appears that the Burmese army slaughtered all the Siamese monks, and the well-kept secret of the golden Buddha remained intact until that particular day when they were going to move this clay Buddha back in 1957. In a way, aren't we all kind of like this giant Buddha, covered with a shell of clay, but underneath is a gold essence of ourselves? It takes courage, discipline, and hard work to remove the clay and reveal our golden selves, but a great way we can do that is actually through networking, getting out there, getting outside of our shell, putting ourselves amongst people. Get up out of your office. I know it's easy to be in your office and sit and clank away on the computer, but get out of your office, go to a business after hours, reconnect with people that you already know and further develop that relationship, or meet somebody new and develop a new relationship that you can nurture over time. Or you might want to go to a business expo or some sort of trade function and talk to the exhibitors or the vendors, talk to the other attendees, and develop some relationships, learn some things, find ways to connect other people. Or you might think about attending a seminar or workshop and not just learn from what's being said, but take the time to connect with other people who are also interested in that particular topic, likely run in the same circles as you. Or the other thing you can do is you can volunteer your time in the community. Believe me when I tell you that in your area right now, there are schools, there are charitable organizations, there are all sorts of not-for-profits, there's chambers that all need help. They don't have enough dollars to hire enough people to do all the things that they need done. So they would certainly welcome any time that you could give, and they would certainly value any of your talents that you would be willing to share. But the other neat thing about getting out and getting into the community is, and volunteering your time and sharing your talents, is that you'll be rubbing elbows with other people from the four corners of your community or of your region who have a similar passion for that particular organization or that school or the chamber. You can reveal your golden self just on social media. Now, again, I'm a fan of getting up and getting out of your office, but you can also do it on social media. Make a post, put yourself out there, make a post, share valuable information, share insights, provide encouragement for others. You can use it to publish an article, maybe something you've written on a blog or something fresh that you've done, or you can comment on someone else's posts, add validity to what they're saying, share an example that furthers what they're talking about, or if you'd really like, you can share their particular post. You can share it on your own feed. You can share it within groups that you're part of that they may not be part of. What that would do is help extend their brand. So there are lots of ways that we can put ourselves out there. There are lots of ways we can reveal who we are. We go from being just a name and a picture that might appear on social media or something that somebody just knows from a distance, and actually be somebody that somebody knows, likes, and trusts. But for that to happen, we've got to shed this clay shell, and we've got to get out there and we've got to reveal ourselves to other people. We've got to put ourselves out there and have the courage to meet people and get to know them and them to get to know us. Remember, networking is a verb, and a verb requires action. And for us to be successful with respect to networking, we need to take action. We need to get out of our comfort zones. We need to go meet people. We need to put ourselves out there. We need to reveal our golden selves. Finally, to wrap up, remember AmSpirit Business Connections has a unique franchise opportunity that involves helping small businesses become more successful through a referral-based networking program. It only involves a couple hours in the morning, a few days a week, and would be a great franchisee for an attorney, accountant, realtor, business coach, or consultant to add on to what they're already doing and get better networked at the same time. Why just be a renter when you can own the building? Why just be in a business network when you can own the business network? If you or someone you know would like to learn more, please contact me using the email at the end of the podcast or the one we've included in the show notes.
Thanks for joining us on the Networking RX podcast. Please put what you've learned into action today and let us know if you have questions, comments, or ideas for future topics. You can email them to us at podcast@amspirit.com. That's AmSpirit.com. Finally, so you never miss an episode, be sure to subscribe to the Networking RX podcast through iTunes, Overcast, or however you receive your podcasts. Now get out and network with someone.
The Networking RX podcast is the copyright production of AmSpirit Business Connection. All rights reserved.